let me give you a bit of an insight as to who I am and what it is that I do. So I am a mentalist. So hands up if you know what a mentalist is. Ladies, stop thinking about Simon Baker. So as a mentalist, basically what it means is that I lie for a living. Okay, and I lie by pretending to be psychic. That being said, I'm a liar that you can trust, because I'm always honest about my dishonesty, and we're going to have some fun here this afternoon because I'm going to use my mentalism to share with you some really cool tools that you're going to be able to use to help you build those connections and build rapport with people on a much more meaningful way. Now, obviously the banner's gone here, but it was all about learn, connect, and experience. So what I'm going to do today, in the 40 minutes that I have, is I'm going to share with you some ideas. So I'm going to share with you some ideas so that you can learn some new ways to interact with others. I'm also going to show you how to connect on a much deeper level, and hopefully, using my mentalism, I'm going to create an amazing experience that's going to leave here, and you're going to go, wow, that was amazing, what a Friday afternoon, it's a bit crazy. So, first of all, I'm going to demonstrate to you what a mentalist does, and let's go for, by the way, this is going to be interactive. I'm going to be pulling people up on stage. Hi there, you're smiling at me very nicely. Hi there, could you stand up for me? Could you stand up for me? You're going to make your way up onto the stage. You're going to get a massive round of applause as you do. The steps are just around here. Excellent. The steps are only on this side here. Unless you feel like leaping like a panther up that side of the stage there. Excellent. So come and jump on the stage here. Hi there. How are you doing?
That was a nervous smile.
That's good. I like it that you're nervous, Megan. So Megan, what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to everyone what it is that a mentalist does by trying to extract a very particular piece of information from your mind. Okay, and in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to focus in on one thing. And that one thing that I want you to focus on is the name of the first person that you ever kissed, okay? So the name of the first person that you ever kissed. Now, don't say their name out loud. And only think of their first name. We won't worry about their second name, just in case people here start Googling who it is, just to get a bit of an idea. But so just the person's first name. So stare towards the back of the room. Imagine staring out the window, actually. And imagine that you can see this name there in the distance. On the horizon, you can see this person's name. So just keep saying this name in your mind over and over and over again. Now, what I'm doing here, by getting to Megan to imagine this, she'll start nodding her head, which gives me an indication as to how quick she's saying this name in her mind. So it gives me an indication as to how long the name is. I'm going to give you a bit of a clue as to how I do this. So just keep saying the name in your mind over and over and over again. Focus on the first letter for me. Don't say anything. Focus on the first letter. Okay, now you are thinking of this person's first name, like real name. You're not thinking of a nickname like Honey Bun or Pumpkin Patch or anything like that. This is the person's proper first name. Okay, I think I can get this. So what I'm going to do is just this person's first name. What I'd like you to do is to just write their name down there, nice and clear, so if we need to show it around, we can. So write their first name down there, fold this up, and then pop your initials on there for me, Megan. Now, there's two reasons why I get Megan to write this down. First reason is by getting Megan to write this down. You guys have had a couple of days of conference. There's a lot of information going on inside your head. There's lots of things that you're thinking about. It's also at the end of the day, you're thinking about what you need to do after you leave the conference. So there'll be lots of information going on in Megan's mind. By getting Megan to write this down, it brings that piece of information, it almost shines a spotlight on it, and it brings it to the forefront of her mind. Second reason, and probably the most important reason of all, is it stops Megan changing her mind halfway through, making me look like an idiot. Okay. And the reason I get you to put your initials on there is so that you know I can't switch it. Also, like you can confirm for everyone, but I can't see through that card, can I? That's a good thick card. Okay, fold this up like that. Hold on to the piece of card. Stare towards the back of the room. Imagine now this person's name like the Hollywood sign, so nice big bold letters there in your mind. Nice big bold letters in your mind. Now don't say anything, but focus in on one of the letters in about the middle for me. Don't say anything, but focus in on one of the letters in about the middle for me. Did you sort of change your mind between two then, before you settled on one? Okay, is that a T?
Oh.
Don't say anything? Okay. I don't think you were thinking of the T then. I think that as you went through that, you kind of changed your mind a couple of times. Don't say anything. Think of the first letter for me. Think of the first letter. Imagine screaming that first letter in your mind. Now, those of you that are close up might have seen this. There's a slight tense up there and there. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get certain letters. That little tense up there tells me it is one of those. I think it's this, okay? If it isn't this, I'm going to write something underneath. It could be this. I've crossed out the one underneath that I don't think it is, but I'm getting sort of two names that are sort of similar-ish. Okay. Let me grab a microphone so that everyone can hear you, Megan. It's exciting stuff. So, Before I get you to say this, we didn't set anything up ahead of time, did we?
We did not.
So there was no way that I could have known the name that you were thinking of?
No way.
Unless I've done some sort of weird stalkery thing on...
You may have.
I may have.
I hope not.
But I haven't. Honestly, I haven't. So if I get this right, you're going to be pretty impressed.
I'll be very impressed.
Okay, so the name of the first person that you ever kissed was?
Justin.
No, I wasn't there.
I remember you.
Okay, Justin. Okay. What was the name of the second person? No, so Justin.
Yeah.
And there was no way that I could have known that.
No.
Have a look at what I wrote. It is an actual fact. Justin, there it is. Give Megan a massive round of applause. Megan, I'll get rid of that for you. Excellent. Thank you ever so much. I'll let you go back down the stairs just over there. Perfect. So, why did I share that with you here this afternoon? Well, first of all, because it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. Afterwards, you're going to go, oh, how did he possibly know? Oh, it was set up, a stooge. The reason why I showed you that is because one thing that I want you to realize is that at all times, you are transmitting information. I get a lot of people that come up to me and they say, oh, I'm just not very influential. I like to argue with that because every single one of us in the room is influential, but what you've got to think about is how are you influencing? Are you drawing people towards you or are you pushing them away? At all times, we're constantly sending out a message. That's normally non-verbally. Our body language is sending out a message to other people. People get a vibe about us. And we need to be really aware of that. Before I got into this world of speaking and entertainment, I had a joinery business back in the UK. And this joinery business I started on my own when I was 21. It was my pride and joy. I put all of my energy and effort into this business and grew it to be one of the most successful joinery companies in the southwest of the UK. And after about 5 years, this business that I had invested all my energy into, it started to crumble. I had 7 guys working for me, so it was a small business, but I had a couple of companies that I was working for that they went bust on me, and so cash flow started to become a problem. What started to happen was little cracks started to form in the business. And because this was my pride and joy, this thing that I'd invested so much energy into, I was doing everything I could. I was scrambling around trying to patch these cracks up so that the business would survive. And what ended up happening was I ended up getting sent into this vortex of negativity. I started to get sucked into this spiral. A bit like Instagram, where you take a photograph and you put a filter on it. Somebody had taken the filter of negativity, put it firmly over my eyes, and I saw that the whole world was out to get me. It was all doom and gloom. The problem here was this. I didn't realize that I was seeing the world through a negative lens. I didn't realize that I was seeing the world as doom and gloom. And it wasn't until a friend sat me down one day, we'd been out for a few drinks, and she said to me, Anthony, you're a really nice guy, but you're so negative, nobody wants to be around you. And I had no idea that people thought that. I had no idea the way that I was acting and behaving was causing this reaction to other people. And it was like somebody suddenly flicked a switch inside my mind overnight. And the next morning I woke up and I realized that I needed to be really aware of how I was acting and behaving to be able to influence the people around me, to be able to build connections with other people around me. And so this one little question that I want to share with you has really helped me change my life. It's helped me end up moving out to Australia, to then go into the entertainment world, to the point now where I'm stood on stage in front talking to you. The question that I'm going to share with you has helped me not only build better relationships with others, but more importantly, it's helped me with the relationship that I have with myself. Because if you want to be an amazing communicator, if you want to be able to get other people on your team to help you develop these amazing ideas, and there was a lot of talk this afternoon about data. It is data, not data, by the way, I have checked. But all this amazing data that you're collecting, unless you're able to communicate that data in a way where people can resonate with it, where people can understand it, then all of that data is completely wasted. So we need to really be aware of how we are communicating with others. So I will share the question with you. But have you ever had that experience where when you're younger and you're running through a field and you come out the other end of the field, if you've got trousers on or if you're a female, you might have stockings or a skirt on, but you come out the other end and your bottom half is covered in these little seeds, burrs I think that they're called. Well, I see every single day a bit like that you go throughout the day and you're picking up these little burrs, but these are bits of emotional baggage that you'll pick up throughout the day. And we need to be really aware of these, and we need to be looking down and asking ourselves, what seeds am I carrying? What bits of emotional baggage am I currently attached to that I need to brush off? Because if you're not careful, what happens is those situations, those bits of emotional baggage that attach themselves will affect how you interact with other people. So, for example, it could be that first of all, you sleep through the alarm, and we all know what happens if you sleep through the alarm. That's it, the rest of the day is ruined forever. You're completely out of sync. Because then as soon as you leave the house, all of a sudden there's more traffic than there normally is, and you get stuck in traffic, then you start to get really irritated by the amount of traffic, and then that parking space that's yours, even though it hasn't got your name on it, but it is yours because you park there every single day, that's gone because you're a few minutes late. And all of a sudden you've got all this stress, you're starting to feel really angry about the day. And if you're not careful, when you get out of the car and you walk into your workplace or you walk into a meeting with a client, what ends up happening is you then take that stress out on other people. You then let that stress infiltrate the way that you're acting and behaving, which then affects the way that you are with other people. And then they go, oh, what's up with Jeff today? Bit grumpy. So by asking yourself this simple question, it will change the way that you interact forever. And the question is as simple as this: how should I be turning up? It's that simple. It's a question that I've been asking myself every single day, ever since that person said to me, you're such a nice guy, but nobody likes you because you're so negative. I've been asking myself this question day in, day out, multiple times throughout the day. And there's 3 areas whereabouts I want you to think about this. First area is, how are you turning up for yourself? When you wake up, what's the first thing you do in the morning? Are you taking a moment to ask yourself, how should I be turning up for me? Who do I need to be today? Is it the beginning of the week where you need to be all proactive because you're going to get loads of stuff done? Or is it a weekend where you need to be a bit more relaxed? But how are you turning up for you? Or are you instantly grabbing your phone, looking at social media, looking at the news, letting all those negative influences start to get inside your psyche? So how are you turning up for you first thing in the day? Just ask yourself that question. Second place, and this is whereabouts you've got to do it multiple times throughout the day. The way I like to say it is anytime you go from one room to another room, or from one activity to another activity, or from one phone call to another phone call, ask yourself the question, how should I be turning up? How should I be turning up for this person that I'm about to interact with, for this meeting that I'm about to jump into? Do you need to be somebody who is going to be a listener? Do you need to be somebody who's going to be creative and you've got to come up with lots of ideas? But asking yourself that question, how should I be turning up for each interaction, it will make you very deliberate about your actions and behaviors. And before I come up here on stage today, I've already asked myself that question, how should I be turning up? I noticed that some of you were looking at me a bit weird because I was sort of stretching and stuff at the back, but I know that I've been stood at the back there for the afternoon, so I'm a little bit stiff when I come up, and if I wasn't full of energy, you guys, you've got alcohol on your tables. That's way more interesting than me. So I know that I've got to be limbered up, I've got to be loosened up, I've got to be ready to entertain you and so I can capture your attention. So multiple times throughout the day. And then the last place that you want to be asking yourself this question of how should I be turning up is last thing in the day. When you've gone through the day, you've got these bits of emotional baggage. Let's face it, it's hard to get rid of all of those little seeds that are stuck on your legs. Some of them stay there because some people are really irritating. And as much as you flick them, they just don't come off. But before you put that key in the door at the end of the day, before you go into your loved ones, those people who care about you, yes, they want to help you deal with your daily challenges. Yes, they want to hear about it, but they want to hear about it in a way that is going to enhance that relationship, not in a way where you just unload fully stressed and they just go, oh, really? Like, can you not just take a moment to just decide how you're turning up? So if you only take one thing away from this presentation this afternoon, if you just take away this, asking yourself this question of how should I be turning up? First thing in the morning, multiple times throughout the day, and last thing before you put that key in the door, I can guarantee you, because it's something that I've used day in, day out, I can guarantee you that it will change your interactions forever. It's going to make you much more in the way of a deliberate communicator. So, let's have some more fun. What I did, you're going to like this. What I did was I went around the room earlier on. This was during lunch break, and underneath some of these chairs, don't do anything just yet, but underneath some of these chairs, I placed a red sticker. Okay, it's a big sticker. You can't miss it. It's about this round. Okay, no looking just yet, no feeling like this. It looks weird from where I'm stood. Got a red sticker like this. If you have a red sticker, oh, lucky you. Because what it means is you're going to stand up, you're going to make your way up onto the stage, your steps are over here. You're going to come up onto the stage, I'm going to hand you the handheld microphone. You're going to stand in front of everybody, and I'm going to make you talk for 1 minute on a subject that I choose. Okay, that's not really going to happen. But what I wanted to do inside this room right now was to create a bit of tension, a bit of uncertainty, a bit of, oh, what's about to happen here? And it worked, because I could see that some of you were like, okay, whereabouts are the exits? Okay, I've got to get out of here. Some of you were going, do you know what? If there's a red sticker, I'll just pretend it's not even there. But you all grew about 2 inches as your bum cheeks clenched and you shot up in your seats. But why is this important? Because when we are presenting ideas, when we're communicating with others, one of the biggest killers of trust is a lack of confidence. And confidence is a weird thing because we just get a vibe from somebody else. We just go, what they said sounded right, but just something didn't feel right. And that's because that person displayed a lack of confidence. And that normally comes about in our non-verbals. We've all heard the stats around 7% of communication is words, 38% is the way that we use our voice, 55% is the way that we use our body. I think that those figures are, I know that you're data guys, but some of those figures, they change depending upon the situation. But non-verbals, if we take it as a rule of thumb, 2/3 of communication does come about non-verbally. So when we're suddenly in a situation where we find ourselves a bit uncertain, our body language changes. What happens is this. Imagine now that I have a cold shower every morning. It's freezing in Tasmania, by the way, when you have a cold shower in the morning. It's really cold, but I have a cold shower every single day. But if I ask you now to get into a cold shower, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to go, you're going to hold your breath. And this is the first thing that happens whenever we get into a moment where we feel uncertain. We will hold our breath, or our heart, or our breathing will suddenly start to speed up. What then happens is, if you hold your breath, and you can see it in me, my shoulders suddenly come in. My body suddenly locks up. So I hold in that tension. Our mind and body are connected. The way that we feel shows up in our body, but because it's a loop, we can use our body to change the way that we feel. So when all of a sudden we tense up, we're holding in that tension. And then what happens is the brain suddenly kicks in. It goes, oh no, things are bad. What's going to happen? Oh no. And you'll start to think of all the negative things. So in order to be able to maintain those confidence levels when you are in an interaction with another person, when you're in a meeting, when you're sharing an idea from stage or some data from stage, when you're suddenly asked a question, you could suddenly get put on the back foot. And it can make you feel uncertain. Or it could just be that you're one-on-one with somebody and they might say something and you don't know the answer to that question. It's going to make you feel a little bit uncertain. So the tool that I want to share with you is something that I use on stage. I do a lot of events where normally people, like you're just on your first drink. I've done a lot of events where people are on like their 20th drink. And when I get people up on stage and they've had about 20 drinks, they think that they're a better mentalist than me. And so then they'll try and mess me up. This is a thing, as a presenter on stage, if I ever look like I'm losing control or I'm losing my confidence, especially in a corporate environment, I will then lose the audience. The audience will start to tune out because I think, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So when I've got somebody up on stage and they're trying to mess me up, I've got to be able to just maintain my composure in real time. So this is a trick that I use, and I call it the 3 Bs. Breath, body, brain. Simple as that. And that is, as soon as you feel that moment when I tell you that you're going to come up on stage because there's a red sticker, and you go, and you tense up, identify that. Become conscious of when your confidence is rumbled. Then just take a breath. And the way I say this is just in through the nose, and ideally out through the nose, or out through the mouth. It's not this, especially if you're in front of people. It's not, oh, hang on a minute, I'll be right with you. It's just a nice calm breath. As you breathe out, what I like to call it is a little bit of air under your wings. So when fear suddenly kicks in, the first place that it goes is here in the neck and our shoulders come up. This is to protect the main arteries that are running down the side of our neck. It's hardwired into us. It's a survival instinct because we're protecting those arteries. So by just imagining a bit of air underneath your arms, what it causes you to do is to relax the shoulders. Once you then relax, you then want to focus your brain on whereabouts you want to go. What do you want the outcome to be? Okay, so breath, body, brain. It's a simple tool. You'll probably see me using it a couple of times this afternoon as you start to get a little bit more intoxicated by your alcohol. So that being said, I want to now get some people up on stage because I want to share with you some body language stuff, which I'm fascinated by body language. I want to share with you some practical tools that you can use body language day to day. I don't know who I'm going to get up here yet. I need to find a certain kind of person from the room. So I've got a quick psychological test. Nothing for you to be worried about. Just for my benefit, just highlights the people in the room who are a type D3 personality. Okay, so can I get everyone to stand up for me, please? If you're wondering actually what a D3 personality is, you would be more commonly known as psychopaths, which is always good to know, especially when you're in a room with them. So there are no right or wrong answers, just go with whatever pops into your mind first of all. But every single one of you in the room, imagine for me now 2 simple geometrical shapes. So 2 simple geometrical shapes. Now when I say something simple, I mean something like a square, but I've just said square, so please choose your own. 2 simple shapes, one inside the other. 2 simple geometrical shapes, one inside the other. If anybody now has a triangle and a circle, please sit down. Should be about a third of you. Bearing in mind, some of you would have sat down because you can't be able to play the game anymore. And I can see that a couple of you have stayed standing because you're cheating. So those of you still standing, imagine for me now 2 simple drawings or objects, and then place one beside the other. So 2 simple drawings or objects, place one beside the other. If anybody has one of those drawings or objects as either a flower or a cat, please sit down. Excellent. And if anybody has one of those as a house or a car, also sit down. Okay, so those of you that are still standing, please stay standing. Just take a quick look at these people, everyone. Psychopaths. Now, well, I'm going to ask you, sir, could you sit down for me? And I'm going to... The lady back there, hi there. Yes, hi, yes, you. Yes. You're going to be number 1, and you're going to be number 2. This lady just here, hi there, number 2. You can be number 3, because you thought that was hilarious. And then you can be number 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Give them a round of applause. They're going to come and join me up on the stage. And the rest of you can sit down. So that's it. Make your way up onto the stage. The steps are just at the side here. And we're going to play a fun game, okay? And this fun game allows me to teach some body language stuff. Excellent. So come up onto the stage. Hi there. How are you doing? Hi. Come and join me just over here. Excellent. Hi there. How are you doing? Excellent. Thank you very much. And our final volunteer, if you can call yourself a volunteer. Hi there, how are you doing?
This is not volunteering. We've talked about the definition of volunteering.
It is. It's volunteering by choice. Okay, so my choice. Let's. So, can I get you? In actual fact, let's do it over this side over here, just because we can see all of you. There's a sort of lectern and stuff in the way there. Because I want you to see the entire body, so that we can point out certain things as we go through this game. So the game that we're going to play is a game of lie detection. Okay. Interesting there, Helen straight away, as soon as I said lie detection, she went, I'm not saying a word. Now, that's really cool, because what I can share with you around this, so what I'm going to share with you, okay, are body language things that you will see day to day, not little fine things. A lot of people think that, they've got their arms folded, that means they're being really defensive. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're being defensive. We need to look at the context around it. What we're interested in are behaviors that happen in real time to the world around us. When we're reading body language, that's what we're interested in. Real time changes in somebody's behavior. So you're not really reading body language, you're reading a change in somebody's behavior. But then when I spoke about lie detection, Helen then instantly closed her mouth down. That was the change that happened in real time. As we know, kids, if they lie, they will go, the adult version is, Helen, it was quite an extreme version of... But when we see that, when we see someone shutting their lips, if we're having a conversation with somebody, that's a sign that they are withholding some information. So if they've been talking and then all of a sudden they shut their mouth, a good idea for you would be to just pause for a little bit, because that will normally cause people to spill more information out. If you're presenting some information, some data, and you see someone suddenly shut their mouth, there could be a very good chance that they want to ask a question. So to become an amazing communicator and be able to connect in a really deep way, when we see these things, so this is what's important here, when we see these things I'm going to share with you, it is your job as communicators to just check in with the person and say, hey, is there something that you're not sure about? Do you want some more information about something? Have you got a question? Are you a bit confused by something? You don't want to go, ha ha ha, I've caught you out. My Sherlock Holmes detective skills have figured out that you're hiding some information. You just want to check in with them and see if there's some extra information that they need. So, out of interest, do you think that you're good at lying?
No.
No? Okay, you thought about that for a moment then? How should I answer this question? Helen, do you feel that you're good at lying?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay, depends on what it's about. Okay. No? And
I've been told I'm terrible.
been told that you're terrible at lying. Okay, excellent. So, ladies, I'm going to ask you to just take a step forward. You're in about a line here, just so I've got just enough room to move down the front there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each one of you a pen as well. I'm going to grab a pen there for a second. So grab a pen there. Now be really careful with the lids. They do just pop straight off, but if you get that ink on your clothes, it will not come off. And if you are feeling a little bit nervous about being up here on stage, then by all means pop the lid off and have a good sniff. I found that it does help with the nerves. And let me give each one of you a piece of card as well. So grab a piece of card there, a piece of card there, a piece of card there, and a piece of card there. So what's going to happen is this. In a moment, I'm going to face forwards. When I face forwards, I would like you all to do a drawing for me. Okay?
Sorry.
Not that. Not that. But do a drawing for me. Something that you can do in about, say, 10 to 15 seconds. Please draw nice and big so that even somebody at the back of the room will be able to see what it is that you've drawn, and also make sure that we can tell what it is that you've drawn. That is quite important. Only draw on one side of the piece of card as well. You'll see why in just a moment. As I say, the lids do just pop off, but please be careful that you don't get the ink on your clothes. But do your drawings for me now. So as we go through this process of lie detection, I want you to play along with me. I want you to see if you can spot who is lying and who is telling the truth. So I'm going to encourage you to avoid looking at their arms as they're moving, because you might get a bit of an idea as to what it is that they're drawing. Try to, if they're sort of flashing the card down, just try to avoid looking at what they're drawing, just so that you can play along. Now, if any of you do see any of the drawings, as we go through this process, please don't shout anything out. Let's make this as exciting as possible. So are we done on our drawings there, ladies? You will need to answer out loud. The whole mind reading thing isn't quite as powerful as maybe you think it is at this point in time. Are we done on our drawings? Yes, yes, yes? Yes? Everybody yes? They're not going to answer me. Is it safe for me to turn around? Excellent, thank you very much. So let me grab the pens back. Make sure I don't see the drawings. Let me just grab the pens off of you. And then could I get you to pass all of the drawings down the line so that, Natalie, you end up with all of the drawings, and you're going to hold them face down and then mix them up. Mixy, 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 mix.
Trying to dry them on the way.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And then mix them up.
And then mix, yeah. So that they're in no particular order. Can't know whose is whose. Excellent. I'll give them a bit of a mix myself as well. So.
Didn't trust me.
No, I trusted you. Okay, the game is this. I will turn over the first drawing. I will show you all the first drawing. Now, if it's your drawing, there might be a tendency to react by going, oh my God, it's mine. Okay, poker face as we do this, try not to give anything away. So, the first drawing that we have, that's it, just if you could stay in the line, perfect, excellent. First drawing that we have, just stare towards the back of the room actually. If you catch a bit of a glimpse of the first one out of your peripheral vision, if it's yours, please don't react. First drawing that we have is, okay, a tree and a swing. Let me put those down there. This is supposed to put them. Okay, very simple game. I'm going to come along the line. I'm going to show each one of you the drawing. Each one of you is going to look at the drawing, and then you're going to say, I did not draw that, so one of you will be lying at some point in time. Okay? Play along with me, see if you can spot who it is. Take a look at the drawing. Yep. Say, I did not draw that.
I did not draw that.
Okay. Take a look at the drawing. Say, I did not draw that.
I did not draw that.
Take a look at the drawing. Say, I did not draw that.
I did not draw that.
Say it again.
I did not draw that.
Take a look at the drawing. Say, I did not draw that.
I did not draw that.
Okay, I know who it is already. Okay, I know who it is already, but I want to see how you are thinking as an audience, okay? So, if you think that our liar is here, make some noise for me now. That was very unenthusiastic, to be honest. Just want another drink. Okay, if you think our liar is in this position, make some noise for me now. Okay, that's a bit more like it. This position here makes noise for me now? And this position here makes noise for me now? Okay. Somebody went more than once then. So just, so Carol, most people went for you. Just warning you, a lot of people don't trust you, but don't worry about that. So what I'm doing on this one here, now this is really interesting, because when we talk about lies, a lot of people think that when we lie, we tend to avoid making eye contact. The opposite is actually true. We'll actually make more eye contact because we want to check that we've managed to catch the person out. So we need to look at them to get that confirmation. What I'm also looking for, and I mentioned before that when we're looking at body language, we're looking for changes in behavior. As soon as I turn this drawing around, or as soon as I say what the drawing is, one person knows that it's their drawing. One person suddenly becomes very active in the game. So it's almost like their body language suddenly becomes very active. They become ready to answer the question because they know that it's their drawing. So I'm looking for that shift, that sudden change in somebody's body language. But in this case here, I'm also looking for somebody that, as soon as I ask them to say, I did not draw that, they do, but then they make direct eye contact. And then they realize that they've made direct eye contact, and they think, if I look away now, I'm going to look like I'm lying, so I will hold it for even longer. The one person who did that is, be completely honest, is that your drawing?
That is my drawing.
It is your drawing. Okay, take it off me. And none of you managed to get it, hardly. Well, yeah, but you cheated. You said yes on every single one of them. Okay, let's go for the next drawing. What do we have? Oh, look at this. Look at this one. Was that an ooh? You were quite impressed with the art skills going on? Okay, this time we're going to do it slightly differently. Rather than say anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to stare at the drawing, and then when I say look at me, you're going to make direct eye contact. Okay, so you're going to look at me square in the eyes. So in actual fact, can I get you three to just turn 90 degrees so that you're facing me? Okay, look at the drawing, and look at me. Okay, thanks. Don't normally get that sort of reaction, to be honest, when I make eye contact. Okay, look at the drawing, look at me. Okay. Now, I'm purposely holding the stare for a little bit too long, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create discomfort. And do you think I'm doing a good job of it? Okay, fantastic. Okay, it's your turn then, Helen. Helen, look at the drawing, look at me. Okay, so now the reason why I create that tension on purpose is because in a situation, you could be in a conversation with somebody. It could be a meeting where you're about to make a really important decision, and you'll have experienced this in the past, where that tension's suddenly there, and you know that a decision has to be made, but then somebody will like crack a joke to try and break the tension. Now, you can use this in two ways. One, you can use it to diffuse tension. You can use a bit of laughter. So in this case here, Helen, you sort of go, oh, it's because you have to, because it gets so tense. Like, what do I do? I don't know. I'll just laugh. And it allows you to break eye contact. But if you're in a situation where a decision has to be made, what you want to avoid is that release of tension, is creating comedy. And you're looking out for other people that are doing it, because that's somebody that's then suddenly become under pressure. Tension is in the sales world, I've heard people say tension is the chemistry of sales, because it's in that moment that somebody will make a decision. So it's a tool that you can use for your advantage, whether you break that tension or whether you hold that tension for longer. Now, with this drawing here, one of the things I'm looking for is pupil dilation. Okay, when we see something that we like or something that we recognize, our pupils will dilate, our eyes will get bigger. I don't encourage you to get really close to your colleagues or your clients' faces. It does make them feel a little bit weird. But when we see our pupils dilate, as I say, it means that we either like what we see or we recognize what we see. When I show this particular picture here, one person's pupils did dilate, their eyes did get bigger, which means that one of you likes what you saw. But the person whose pupils dilated when I showed them this particular picture here that is yours, am I right?
Oh, isn't it awesome though?
It is awesome, but it is yours though, yes? It is yours, excellent, there we go. So we're now down to a 50-50. I can get this next one literally just by guessing. So, now, one thing that hasn't, it happened 2 times at the beginning, it hasn't happened again since. Okay, but one thing that is it's a really handy one to look out for is either distancing or blocking behavior. We tend to move towards things that we like and we'll move away from things that we dislike. So if you're in an interaction with somebody, if you're in a meeting or if you're with a group of people, if you notice them suddenly close their body, so if somebody is open and then they suddenly cross their arms, that is a blocking behavior. If someone takes a step back or they lean back in their chair, that is a distancing behavior. What it might mean, it doesn't necessarily mean this, like 100%, but it's worth you checking in. Because the limbic brain reacts in real time to the world around it, and we're looking for body language that happens in real time, when we see someone move away or block themselves or twist, and if you're in swivelly chairs, it's really good to see that twist is amplified. But when you see that, that's a sign that something that you've just said or presented, they might not feel so favorable about, or they might be a little bit uncertain about something that you've just said. And once again, it's your chance to just check in and say, look, is there something that you're a bit unsure of? Is there something that you want some more information on? It's a really good one to look out for, so that distancing behavior. The last thing that you want is for you to go through a 20-minute presenting your idea or having a meeting. You go through 20 minutes, you get to the end and you think you're about to get a decision made, and then somebody goes, yeah, but that thing that you said back 15 minutes ago, all I've been doing is I've been thinking about that ever since. So I've really missed all the rest of the stuff because that bothered me. So the way that we use these tools is to make us more effective as communicators. It allows us to also build that connection with the other person because they feel like they're being heard. So when you see these things, that's when you want to just check in with the person and ask, is there something you're confused by? Do you need some more information? It's your cue to check in with that person. So, 50-50. I could get this one literally just by guessing now. So instead I'll actually analyze this drawing. Because psychologically, our drawings can tell us quite a lot about who we are as people. They can reveal deep, dark psychological flaws in our personality. This one's very interesting, actually. This one's very interesting. The person who drew this, the artist of this drawing here, has got a very strange and unique ability. And that is the ability to almost get into the mind of another person. And today, the artist of this drawing here has actually got into the mind of a 5-year-old in art class. Now I'm looking for the person who looks most irritated by me as I turn around. Now, another really good one for you to look out for body language-wise, and it's something that you need to be kind of close to see it. I see it quite a lot, and that is a squinting of the eyes, so the eyes narrowing. That is a sign of skepticism. That's why I see it quite a lot. So I don't believe what you're saying. But again, and obviously if the person's in the sun, then they're squinting because of that. And also you've got to be aware, if somebody needs glasses and you give them something really small to read, they might start squinting because of that. But if you present a piece of information and you notice the eyes start squinting, that is a sign of skepticism. That's a sign of somebody isn't quite that sure about what you're saying. Again, it's another cool chance for you to check in. This drawing here, I'm not going to waste any time in delivering this back to the correct owner because I'm going to say, yep, you're looking at me, you are really irritated by me. That is yours, am I right?
Yes.
It is yours, okay. And you don't look like a 5-year-old learning to draw. So, obviously the last one is yours. We don't need to be mind readers to work that out. But the question is, don't answer this question, but the question is, what did you draw? Okay, don't answer the question, but that is the question. My job now as a mentalist is to try and figure that out. You went, oh geez, obviously you don't think I can get it.
No. But not.
Whoa. Hang on a minute.
That's not what I
What I've done is pretty remarkable so far, but you don't think I can get that? No. I'm only joking. Just come and stand forwards here. Come and stand forwards here for me. This thing, this image, whatever it is that you've drawn down. Mm-hmm. Notice that the lips went in again straight away, trying to withhold information from me. It won't work. Okay. Helen, this thing, this image, whatever it is, just answer inside your head, not out loud. Is it bigger or is it smaller than a piano? Just answer inside your head, not out loud.
Answering inside my head, not out loud.
Okay. Is this something, again, just answer inside your head, is this something that is man-made or is it something that's organic? Okay. If you want a bit of an update. So far, I've got nothing. Okay, just imagine redrawing this thing inside your mind for me now, Helen. Okay, I actually used a bit of humour. Thank you for laughing, by the way. But I used humour then to diffuse attention because you weren't letting me inside your head. No, you weren't at all. Face of disgust. No, I'm not going to let you inside my head. Face of disgust. Another good one for you to look out for. If you ever present an idea and you see, that's a face of disgust. Somebody doesn't like your idea. Pretty good indication. Just imagine redrawing this thing inside your mind for me now. Okay. I think I know what it is. I think I know. Just yes or no. Have you gone for, and you can answer this out loud, yes or no. Have you gone for something particularly obscure to try and catch me out?
No.
Okay, did you see the eyebrows come together then? Okay, I don't believe you. Okay. I will draw something down. Hopefully it should. Are you a good drawer?
No.
No, oh, this could be an exact replica of your drawing them. Okay, here we go. Be something along these sort of lines here. Something like this is what I'm going to say. I've also written down at the bottom what I've drawn, just because I'm not the best of artists. Okay, Helen. Hold on to our drawing. Now, before we turn our drawings around, just make. Sorry?
You've just seen this one.
Okay.
No, you did. Like just now. I know not. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
Right. Is there any way that I could have seen your drawing?
No, not before
No?
then. No.
Not before then. Okay, but I'd finished my drawing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the skepticism can
No,
be
it's just
gone.
patient.
Skepticism.
I just want to see that.
Okay. Just be patient. I'm trying to build the moment here.
Sorry.
Right. First of all, just make sure that you've got it orientated the right way. So when you turn it around, it's the right way up.
Yeah.
Is that the right? Just remember, I got those ones right. Now, before we turn it around, we didn't set anything up ahead of time. There is no way that I could know. If I get this right, you'll be impressed. I don't think it's going to be an exact match, but it should be a fairly close resemblance. That's right. Turn yours around first of all. Show everyone what you've got. Ooh. Okay, so lighthouse.
Lighthouse, yeah.
Lighthouse.
Because I was a bit worried after I drew it. It is a lighthouse.
Okay. Oh dear, sometimes you don't even need to be a mind reader to know what someone's thinking. But you drew a lighthouse with lots of windows going in the front of it. Mine's not exactly the same, but I did draw a lighthouse. There it is there. Give these ladies a massive round of applause. Not exactly the same, but close enough. There we go. Give these ladies a massive round of applause. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back onto your seat. Thank you and thank you. So,
It's fine.
thank you very much. Just use this simple rule. Does a person look comfortable or uncomfortable? Another way of saying it is, does a person look open or do they look closed? Another way of saying it, do they look confident or do they look like they're lacking confidence? When you notice that somebody goes from being closed to being open, there's a good sign that you're building that rapport, that you're making a connection. When you see someone going from being open to starting to be closed, that would make their body smaller, they might start to turn away, their speech might become a little bit glitchy. There's a pretty good chance that something that you've just said has caused that reaction. So just think, are they open or are they closed? And whenever you're interacting, whenever you're trying to get decisions made, you want to try and get those people open as much as possible. I could go on forever talking about body language, but I am going to have to stop because I'm well aware that there's a maxi taxi turning up at 4 o'clock. Have I got time for one more thing? Or yeah, are you happy for me to go? Keep going? Okay, one more thing. Obviously, you've all got these big ideas about things that you want to happen. And sometimes those goals can seem just so far out of reach that you think, I'm never going to get there. The thing is, with all of these goals, in order to be able to achieve what you think is impossible, you've just got to start making decisions. You've got to start making choices that are going to move you closer. It's those small steps that are going to take you closer to something that is impossible. And I want to show you something now that you're going to think has been set up. You're going to think that I spoke to the person ahead of time. So who in the room... So whoever it is, you're going to have to read some quite small print, okay? We're going to be using a telephone book for this. So it's pretty small print. Who in the room would you trust I couldn't have set anything up with ahead of time and has got good eyes? I want you to volunteer somebody rather than me choose them. Kate. Kate, come and join up here. Kate, massive round of applause. No, I should have done this while you're in your seat because this could be a little bit embarrassing if you have to get... No. Are you all happy with me using Kate for this final thing? Yes? Okay, Kate, come up here and give Kate another round of applause. So, Kate. Excellent. Now that I've proved to you that my middle name could well be the Messiah, what we're going to do is we're going to do something, but I'm not going to do this. You're going to do this, okay, Kate? So come over here for me. We're going to use a telephone book for this. Now, I will tell you this. I will be trying to influence your choices, but ultimately, all of the decisions are your own. Okay? So I'm going to give you a microphone so that everyone... the microphone there is actually... We'll pick up your voice. So, we've got Sydney telephone book, okay? It looks old because it is really old because they're almost impossible to get hold of these days. But Sydney telephone book. Now, inside this book, you're going to be the eyes for the audience. Okay, Kate, how many pages are there?
1,356.
Okay, 1,356. On each one of those pages, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, yes?
Yes.
And in each one of those columns, how many telephone numbers do you think that there are? You don't have to count them. There is a maxi taxi turning up at 4.
At least 100.
At least 100. I think it's somewhere between 110 and 120 per column. So with 1,356 pages, 5 columns on each page, 110 different telephone entries in each column. Kate, how many telephone numbers do you think are inside the whole book?
You tell me.
Lots. That's the answer. What we're going to do is we're going to choose one telephone number. We're going to do it by making a number of choices. So this is like making a number of decisions, doing a number of things to move towards what your goal is, taking a small step at a time. So for example, though, if we were to have stopped here, what number would you have chosen?
I would have chosen 95287860.
If we were to have stopped on this page and we were to have stopped here, what number would you have chosen?
93374170.
Yeah?
I'm just checking there's no connection between those two.
No, there is. You are really sceptical. That's fine. That's fine. You be sceptical.
I'm representing a lot of people here.
You are representing. Represent. Okay. And if we were to have stopped here.
98084714.
Okay. Are you happy that all the numbers there are completely different and there's nothing linked between those two numbers?
I am.
All those three numbers.
Are you happy with my eyesight?
I am happy with your eyesight. Fantastic. Yep. You're now going to make 3 choices to choose one telephone number. Look at me. In a moment, can I just get you to just move your hands from behind your back? Perfect. In a moment, you're going to choose a page number from that book.
I'm just wondering what information you just gained while you just looked at me then. Sorry, what was the question?
Who volunteered Kate? Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Helen. Okay. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to say a page number. It's going to be a number between 100 and 1,356. So a number between 100 and 1,356. Whichever page you go for, I'm entirely happy. I am trying to influence your choice here, so I'm just going to tell you that now. Okay. So if you think that the number in your head now is the one that I've influenced, then my advice to you is to change your mind and go for a completely different number.
Okay.
Do you have a number now in your mind?
I do.
You do? Are you happy with that number?
I am.
Okay, please announce into the microphone what is the page number that you've chosen.
235.
235. Free choice?
I feel like it was.
Okay, turn to page 235 for me. Turn to page 235.
Ah.
Are you trying to mentalise me here? Okay, so 235. You happy with page 235?
Yes.
Would you like to change your mind at this point in time? You've gone, I know what you're doing.
I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, look at me. So there are 5 columns on that page. In a moment, you're going to choose one of those columns. It's entirely to you which one you choose, completely free choice. Don't let me influence you in any way, shape, or form. If you feel like I'm forcing you, then you can change your mind. But Kate, choose one for me now. Which one do you want to go for?
3.
3. I'm glad that you did, Kate, because that's the column that I wanted you to choose. Do you want to change your mind, or do you want to stick with number 3?
No, I'm happy with 3.
3? Okay, even though I'm going to tell you, so when I said to you, it's entirely up to you which one you choose, it's completely 3 choice. I didn't say a free choice, I said it's completely 3 choice. And I actually gestured with my hand 3. So I've told you now what I've done. Do you want to change your mind, or do you want to stick with 3?
Well, I was going to go for 2.
You can change your mind if you want to go for number 2. Do you want to go for 2 instead?
No, I'm good with 3.
Sure?
I'm good with 3.
You're okay being manipulated?
If that's what's happening and everyone's watching, well...
No, it's entirely up to you. 2 or 3. Which one do you want to go? Or you can change your mind and go for a completely different one.
No, I'm good with 3.
Good with 3. Okay, so this is the final part. Now, you'll see that there are a few mobile phone numbers there. If you happen to stop on a mobile phone number, I will ask you to change your mind. That's my only rule. So it has to be a landline number. So starting at the bottom, I'm going to slide my finger up the page. Now, look at me. I'm going to slide my finger up the page. Whenever you feel like it, you're just going to say stop. I'm going to try and move my hand at the time that I think you're going to say stop on. If I get to the top, I'll start to come back down again. And if I get back down to the bottom, then I'll come back down again. Thanks very much. Here we go. You say stop whenever you want to, nice and clearly.
Stop.
Are you sure that you're happy there?
Yep.
Sure?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, it's not a mobile phone number.
Oh, I wanted you to be down further. Sorry, I couldn't see where you were.
Okay.
I was looking at you.
Right, so you're changing your mind?
Yeah, I
Okay.
am. I am on this one.
Say stop. Say stop whenever you want to. If I get to the bottom, I'll come back up again. Okay, we're down at the bottom.
Stop.
Are you sure you're happy there?
Yes.
100%. Okay, this hasn't worked. What have we got? Thanks for ruining the finale.
80336923.
80336923. So everyone, you now have speaking parts. 80 over here. 8033. 803369. What was it? 23. 23. So 80336923. That is one number chosen out of about 880,000.
Yeah.
But you made 3 choices together, so it makes it about 1 in 1.1 million. I don't know if that's true, I just made it up. But the chances of you choosing a particular number are pretty slim. A very particular one. One that maybe I knew ahead of time. Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you this. Earlier on today, I went through this book. I chose a telephone number.
And
I was...
80338923.
That's a very good memory. It was. Well done. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, prove it. And I will prove it. I will prove it to you. Because some of you, the more astute of you, may have noticed that there's been a tube that's been there right from the very beginning. This tube that has been there right from the very beginning. Look, if I grab this tube, inside there is one roll of paper. Grab out the roll of paper there for me. Kate, and there's an elastic band. Just pop the elastic band off. Stop saying no. It's yes, yes, yes. Okay, come over here. Come over here for me. Come over here. So don't start running just yet. Once again, you chose a page. And that was entirely up to you. I even gave you the option to change your mind. But you chose a page. You chose a column. I told you what I did, but you still decided to stick with number 2 and you didn't change to number 3. You decided to stick with number 3. You then said stop wherever you wanted to. And you even decided to change your mind after we had stopped and we went for another one down near the bottom of the page. Yes?
Yes.
100% your own choices?
Yes.
No! Because if they had been your own choices, then the numbers couldn't match. Hold on to the top and the bottom there. The first 2 digits of a number that you randomly chose were? 80. Check this out. 80. Okay. That sound that you just heard then, that's called stunned silence. Can't believe that the first 2 digits matched. They didn't know how to react, so they didn't bother. But let me tell you this: if you get this right, this room is going to erupt. Okay, there'll be whooping and cheering. I can see there's going to be some dancing on the tables. In actual fact, if you get this right, there'll be so much noise inside this room, people are going to wonder what has happened in Devonport today.
I'm not sure I'm getting it right.
It's going to make the local press. If you get this right. First 2 digits, so 880. Next 2 digits were? 33. Check this out. 33. Yes. Next 2 digits were? 69. 8033 69. Was it 69?
Yes. 6923.
Wasn't asking you. Sure it's 69?
6923.
69.
It's just the little black bits come on.
Thanks. It's all right. Breath, body, brain. It's all right. Even though you're not really acting, it's because I know what you're thinking. If I was you, I'd be sat there doing the exact same thing. You saw how fair each and every single one of the choices were, and you can't believe that the first 4 digits match. And you sat there and you're trying to figure it out, and you can't figure it out how those first 4 digits match. And so you sat there and you go, I don't know how you did it. So you sat there going, I don't know. Oh my gosh. So that's exactly what I wrote. So 8033 6923. There it is. 8033 6923. You got the entire number. And I still know what you're thinking. Just get a massive, massive, massive round of applause. Kate, thank you ever so much. I'll let you go back down to your seat. Thank you. So that is it for me. Thank you so much, guys. I know that there is a taxi that's been waiting outside for you in just a moment. But please, one thing that I really want you to take away from today is to ask yourself that question: how should I be turning up? Just do that in the morning, throughout the day, and last thing before you walk in that door. I guarantee you, it's going to change the way that you interact. Guys, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you for letting me close out today. Thank you.